It's called resilience. We've heard a lot about this in the last several years. We have to be resilient. And resilience gets us through tough times, because those are the times that are going to steal your dreams. But if you're resilient and you hold on to that purpose, you are going to be okay. How many of you want to thrive? Okay. Yes. I want to see every hand. How many of you want to thrive? Yes. Okay. The thing is, the definition of thriving literally means to grow. We think thriving means happiness and success. No, it means growing. So if you're going to grow, you are going to experience discomfort. That's just how it is. The thing about discomfort is it forces you to acknowledge that something needs to be done. Something needs to change. Something needs to be dealt with. I've learned that when I'm feeling anxious, nervous, stressed out, uncomfortable, it means I need to address something in my life. But the problem is when we hide from discomfort, it just gets worse. When we don't know what's bothering us, it turns into fear. And the more we don't address what's bothering us, the greater the fear gets, the bigger it gets. If you can turn and face that discomfort, face that fear, you shrink it, because now you can put a name on it. And when you put a name on it, now you can make a plan to do something about it. That's how you take your power back. That's how you say, I am now making a decision to get back in control of my life by addressing what makes me uncomfortable and doing something about it. Because I suddenly realized that during the fraud, during the suicide, during everything that came after that, I had trained myself to look for all the things that were going to go wrong in life, all the bad things that were going to happen to me, and I was becoming afraid to live because all I could see was the bad. But when you flip the switch, when you look for the good, you will find it. I tell people there is always something to be grateful for. Every day there's something to be grateful for, but even in your darkest moments, that's where you have to choose to find it. Because gratitude is where joy comes from. It's what keeps hope alive. When my husband died, that first week, the overwhelming emotion I had was gratitude. It sounds crazy. I remember thinking, this is crazy. But one, he was not suffering anymore. He was not suffering. And I remember walking into my house. My best friend picked me up at the hospital, drove me home, and I walked in the door and I looked around. It was like seeing it for the first time. I was so grateful. The kitchen, he painted my favorite color when I was away at a conference. A picture he bought for me because I loved it in an art gallery. Everywhere I looked were signs of his love for me. Not only that, people who were calling, people who were sending flowers, people who were sending food. I was surrounded by love. How could I feel anything but gratitude? In our darkest moments, there are people who are there for us. In our darkest moments, we need to look to each other to remember that light within. And in our darkest moments, there are things to be grateful for. And if we can choose that, choose to look through the world with gratitude, we will get through those tough times. Every one of those things I've said to you tonight is a choice, and I call them a brave choice. Because again, it is not easy. It is not easy to let go of your expectations. It is not easy to embrace discomfort. And it is not easy to choose gratitude when you would rather be angry and disappointed and frustrated. But if you do, you take your power back. You are resilient, and you will find a way forward. You will take that purpose that you've been born with, that you have been chosen to give, and you will do something important in this world. And that's what matters. I believe that every one of you here has that power. And I encourage you to trust it, to live it, to shout it, to model it, to be it. Because that's what you're here for.